And then coming back to neutral spine. And let's open your eyes and just remember these awesome eye exercises. So, so let's sit up nice and tall with shoulders down. And without moving your head, without moving your neck, look up toward the ceiling. And keep breathing. Don't move your head, don't move your neck, look down to the floor. Keep breathing. Ground your sit bones. Without moving your head, without moving your neck, look to the right with your eyes only. Look down to the floor. Keep your head and neck neutral. Look to the left with your eyes only. Look down to the floor. Look up toward the ceiling. Don't move your head, don't move your neck. Keep breathing. And relax. Take a big breath. You might close your eyes if you like. Or another breath. It's up to you whether you have your eyes open or not. We're moving our eyes only. Look to the right. And look up toward the ceiling. And look to the left. And then look down. And then continue that circle. The right, up, left, down. Circle your eyes in that same direction about 3 times. And when you're done, close your eyes and relax. Take a few breaths. Okay, now moving your eyes only, look to the left. And then up toward the ceiling. And then to the right. And down to the floor. And continue a circle in that direction about 3 times. And when you're done, relax your eyes and breathe. And if you'll inhale, your arms widen up, interlace the hands behind your head and cup the hands right under the back of your head and drop your shoulders. Your neck is neutral, spine is long. Okay, gently push your head into your hands into your head, creating some resistance. So we're engaging the muscles in the back of the neck and the upper back. And we're breathing. Put your tailbone down to the floor and lower belly firms in gently, so we're not swaying our low back. And clench the teeth. Take another breath. Okay, slowly soften, slouch. So round your back, drop your head forward, and bring your elbows closer together in front. Now, you're in charge. You either don't put any pressure on your head, just open your back this way, open your shoulder blades wide, or you can apply a kind amount of pressure on the head to deepen that stretch, only if your body is okay with that. Take a big breath in, big breath out, and then sit up. Spine long, lift the heart, lift the elbows so our hands are still behind our head. If your body's okay with that, maybe switch your grip. So other index finger in front. Now start to lift the breastbone and look up, leaning your head into your hands. Pull your elbows wider and shoulders down if you can. Lower belly firms, tailbone down. So we're strengthening our back, opening the belly. Slow breath. And one more. And neutral spine. And release the arms. And roll the shoulders up and back a few times. And one shoulder at a time, rolling up and back. And let's give our legs a break. So straighten them out, rock them out well in front of you. Circle your ankles really big. Circle the other way. Okay, it's up to you whether you sit on blankets or not. So we're gonna bend our knees, bring your legs are still out in front of you, lean back into your hands. You can always put blocks under your hands if needed. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, and we're doing seated windshield wipers here. Now we'll have a tendency to travel forward while we're doing this, so just make adjustments as needed. So you're wanting to reach the knees toward the floor as best you can. You can take your feet wider if you need to. Make more space. Kind of keep your feet gently flexed as you move. You're just rolling side to side on your feet. Next time we drop to the left here, we'll stay there and see if you can bring your right knee straight down from your hip, right down from your nose there, and then lift your heart up. Flex your feet, press that right knee toward the ground as best you can. You can put a block under that knee if needed. Lift your heart and turn your heart gently to the right. So it's going to feel twisty, but there's not a lot of range of motion there. Shoulders down towards your hands. Lift your heart more. Take one more breath. And soften. Sitting up on a blanket is helpful too if you're stressed at all. Flip your knees up and over to the other side. So left knee straight down from your nose if you can. Flex the feet. Then lift the heart. Arms are straight. Then start to turn your heart to the left as much as you can. Not so much turning the head, but just rotate the breastbone to the left, the ribs to the left. Deep breaths, gentle flex of the feet. Okay, drop the heart and knees up. Okay, so we'll bring our feet to a comfortable place. Shake out your hands, sitting up, and take some good clearing breaths. Blow out your lips. One more breath. Okay, so feet are a little bit wider than the hips. Lift the spine and bow forward. So let your arms come between your legs. So round the spine. If you need to move your feet more forward, that's okay. Or if you need to take your feet wider, that's okay. Just fall forward with your spine and your head and try to relax your shoulders. So hands to the floor in front. Or you can grab onto your ankles if you like. Deep breaths into your back body. Expand the back ribs. Drop your chin closer to your chest. Inhale the spine up slowly. Okay, so we're swinging both feet over to the left and we're dropping the knees here. So back knees touching front foot. It's up to you. You can sit up on blankets here if there's any discomfort in the lower body at all. Sit up on blankets. Okay, so we're taking hands on each side of your right knee. Let your spine be long. Turn your heart to face the same direction as your right thigh and bow over your leg. So breastbone on top of your knee joint, and then you can even let your forehead settle onto something if it's possible. You can settle your elbows to the floor or blocks. You can put your forehead on your hands or blocks. Just, it's like a baby deer pose. Just a kind stretch to your low back, right glute, right outer thigh. Try to soften your left leg. Long, slow breath. One more breath. And let's push this hands into the floor to raise your spine, sitting all the way up. Big breath. Okay, so right hand straight to the side. Go ahead and lay it down onto your elbow. You can always put your elbow on a block or a blanket if you need to. So it's up to you, your forearm. You can put it at whatever angle feels right for you. Okay. Oh, by the way, thank you, Kathy, for the eye exercise.
I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yes. And left arm goes wide. Okay, start to do up and back circles. Up and back circles with that top arm. So you can keep your circles small, or you can start to spiral out bigger and bigger and bigger to where you're using full range of motion with that arm, like a full back stroke. Big breaths. And then bring that arm up by your ear and lengthen the spine, lengthen the left side. Good breaths. So bottom shoulder presses down, neck is neutral with the rest of the spine. Think of lifting your ribs away from your pelvis. That's it. You can even now reach your top hand toward the floor, doing a side bend. So push your bottom arm against the floor to lift the left side of your ribs up toward the ceiling. So rounding the left side of your body. Top hand reaching to the floor overhead. Really good stretch through your left side. Good strength element through your right side. Take another breath. Okay, let that arm come down to your side, spine neutral. Okay, and reach your arm up wide again, and then overhead. Then do a quarter turn with your heart to face the floor and reach your arm at shoulder level. Reach over to the right. So nice lat stretch possibly. You can even extend your left leg back behind you. Make a full long line through that left side. You can even reach that top foot back more to get more of a back bendy action or hip flexor opening. And just make sure your neck is comfortable. Bottom arm adjusted if needed so that it's comfortable. Take a big breath. And one more. Both hands to the ground. Bend your back leg again. Then push yourself up into sitting. And just relax for a couple of breaths. Shoulders down. Okay, if there's any discomfort in the lower half of the body, sit up on a blanket or two. We're turning both hands, turning to the right, grounding the hands to floor or blocks. So settle them onto something. Okay, so from here, let the spine get long. Reach out through the top of the head, start lifting the belly up. And then you can start turning your spine to the right as much as feels good. Turn your belly to the right. Turn your heart to the right. If you want to walk your hands more to the right, you can. But this is a pretty deep twist really quickly. So be kind. And then breathe. Expansive breaths. Take the pressure out of your head. So unclench there. Inhale, the spine gets longer. Exhale, shoulders down more. Maybe deepen your twist. Turn the belly to the right. Turn the heart to the right. You can even turn the head to the right, but don't crane your neck. Don't strain. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. And 2 more. Slowly unturn. Walk your hands all the way in front of you. And sitting up. Take a good breath in. Great breath out. Okay, flip your feet over to the other side, to the right. See if back knee touching front foot is comfortable for you. You can always sit up on blankets to make more space for your joints and your low back. Okay, so once you're settled, both hands to the floor on each side of your left knee. Spine gets long and bow over your left knee. Breastbone on top of your knee joint. You can land your elbows to floor or blocks. You can land your forehead to floor or blocks or hands. Let your spine get a little bit longer there. Move your heart forward and rest. Let your right leg settle and breathe. Soften the shoulders. Jaw relaxes. Decent stretch for your low back, left glute, outer thigh. Take one more breath here. And we'll push our hands into the ground to lift your spine. Sitting all the way up. Big breath. And then left elbow settles to the ground, straight off to the side, to the left. It's up to you where you put your forearm. What's more comfortable for you? Okay, so we'll take our top arm wide, the right arm, and then we'll start circles going up and back, up and back, up and back. So make sure we're not collapsing into the bottom shoulder. Push down gently and that your neck is long with the rest of the spine. So we're not kinking our neck up like that or anything funky there. You can spiral out wider and wider with that right arm to make bigger and bigger circles. You can even use full range of motion for a full back stroke if your body allows that. Solid, long breath. And then next time your arm comes by your ear, lengthen the spine, lengthen the arm, lengthen the right side of your body. So you might press your right hip down a little bit to lengthen the waistline a little bit more. Make sure you're not collapsing into that bottom shoulder. You've got some strength going on there. And then if you want to, take the side bend. Top hand reaches toward the floor. Push your bottom arm against the floor to lift the right side of your ribs up toward the ceiling. Rounding the right side. Deep, expansive breaths there. One more breath. Top arm drops down to your side, spine gets long. Take a breath. Then right arm lifts up again. Arm by your ear, do a quarter turn with your heart to face the floor, and then your right arm is about shoulder level and reach forward. You can even extend your right leg back or long, just making a long line from right hand to your right foot. You can even slide that foot back more to get more hip flexor opening there. And check in with your neck that it's happy and long. And you're breathing well. Big breath in. Great breath out. Okay, touch the floor with that hand. Bend your back leg again. Push yourself up into sitting and relax. Couple of good breaths. Make any adjustments for your lower body if needed, if you need more support there. And both hands grounding to the floor to the left side or onto blocks if needed. Arms are straight, spine is long. Start to turn your belly to the left. Start to turn your heart to the left. You can even walk your hands to the left more if your body allows that. You can turn your head kindly to the left without straining. Unclench the mouth. Inhale, spine gets longer. Exhale, you might deepen your twist, only if it feels good. Expansive breaths. Ribs expand with the inhale. Let's do one more breath. And one more after that. Okay, soften. Walk your hands all the way to the right in front of you. And then sit all the way up. Good breath in. Good breath out. Did I forget anything? Do you remember? Okay. Legs go long. Thank you. Out in front and rock your legs out all the way from your hips. Good clearing breaths. Okay, we're making our way to tabletop on your hands and knees. If you need cushion under your knees, use a flat blanket under them. If your wrists don't like being flat on the floor, putting the heels of the hands on the front edge of a folded blanket may be helpful for you. Okay, let's do some cat and cow. Inhale, head and hips lifting, sway your back. Exhale, head and hips dropping, lift your spine up to the sky. Inhale, sway your back. Exhale, arch your spine. Inhale, saddle back. Exhale, cat back. Inhale, cow back. Exhale, cat back. Get more range of motion working in your shoulders. When you lift your head, shoulders press back towards your hips to spread your collarbones wide. When you drop your head, push your shoulders down toward your hands to spread your shoulder blades wide. One more breath. Neutral spine. Big breath. Okay, reverse cat and cow, except we're taking the head and neck out of the equation. So we're making our spine shorter. Inhale, arch your spine up to the sky. Exhale, sway your back. Head and neck stay neutral. They don't move, if possible. Inhale, arch your spine to the sky. Squeeze and lift your belly. Exhale, sway your back, lengthen your belly. Get lots of movement in your shoulders. Inhale, shoulders press down toward your hands. Exhale, shoulders press back toward your hips. One more breath. And neutral spine. Okay, so spine comes up. So you're up on your knees, shake out your hands, shake out your arms. Good clearing breaths. Get everything flapping. Don't hit yourself in the eye. With your bat wings. Okay, so down to your hands and knees again. So we're sideways on your mat and scooch back to where your knees are just off your mat if possible. If you need some more cushion under your knees, give yourself a blanket. Okay, so elbows settle to the ground. We're doing a lat stretch. So walk both arms over to the left and down toward your feet some. So we're starting in a comfortable side bend in the spine. The legs don't move. So then let's drop your heart in your head. Ground your forehead onto something. So whether that be the floor or your left hand or a block or blanket. And right arm reaches forward. Extend your right arm forward at that diagonal. Wherever your spine is at, just reach it forward. And then pull your hips back toward your right heel gently to create some traction on that right side. Deep breaths. Try to soften that right shoulder. Keep letting go in that right shoulder. If this starts freeing up nicely and you want a little bit more, bend your right elbow and you can pat yourself on the upper back with that right hand. So that brings the tricep more into play in that stretch. The tricep into the lats and the muscles on the side of your shoulder blade, and like your teres muscles. Your serratus muscles on the back of the ribs. Take a good breath in. Good breath out. 2 more breaths here if you can. If you bent your right elbow, straighten it again. And bring your arms underneath you, lifting your head. Walk your arms over to center again. Take a few breaths there to center. And then walking your arms over to the right and down toward your feet comfortably for a comfortable side bend to start. The legs don't move, hips don't move there. So lower head and heart. It might feel good to support your head with something like the floor or block your right hand. And left arm extends further out in front. And pull your hips back toward your left heel to create traction on the left side there. And try to soften that left shoulder more. So to deepen your pose, left elbow settles to the floor. Keep pulling the hips back. Soften that left shoulder. And if and when this starts freeing up nicely and you want a little bit more, you can bend your left elbow and pat yourself on the upper back. Keep softening through the left shoulder and keep pulling your hips back. Long breath. And we'll take another breath. And one more. And slowly straighten your left arm if you bent it. And then we'll bring your arms underneath your body again, lifting your head and Arms and spine back to center and take a few breaths. All right, so let's grab your blocks and have tall blocks under your hands, digging the pads of the toes into the ground, and all we're doing is coming into a standing tabletop. All we do is straighten the legs here. Bring the feet straight down from the hips and hands straight down from the shoulders. So we want straight legs, straight spine, straight arms. If you need to lower your blocks for that to be more comfortable, or if you need to have 2 sets of blocks under your hands to be more comfortable, then you do that. Okay, so long lines in the body. All your weight's in your feet, so we don't have too much weight in the hands. If you have too much weight in the hands, that means you need taller blocks to bring more weight into your feet. Okay, so start to walk your legs out. Bend one knee as you straighten the other. Lift one heel as the other one grounds. Slow breath. Keep your feet flat on the floor now and just walk your knees out. That's going to move your hips more. And let's bend your right knee. Straighten your left leg. Lean your weight into your left foot. Shift your hips to the left. Pull your left hip back. Get your hands under your shoulders because we might be off center now. Neck is neutral and we're breathing, stretching that left leg, the glute, the hamstring, the low leg, the side of the leg. Cassie, can you see if you can drop your right heel to the ground and still bend your leg? Is that doable?
Oh,
It's odd. Where is it odd?
well, I have a tendency to roll in.
So the right leg is pretty much just soft and even. Yeah. It seems if you have your heel up, there's work happening in that right leg.
Yes.
Okay, let's switch sides. So left knee bends, right leg straight. Lean your weight into your right foot. Hip shift to the right. Pull your right hip back. Get your hands under your shoulders. You might be off center in the upper body now. Deep breaths. Check in with your neck. You're not holding extra tension. You're not clenching or funking your neck up anywhere. The right leg is straight, left knee is bent. Left leg is softer. Okay, let's come back to center. Straighten both legs, straighten both arms. Spine neutral and centered and flat. Lean your weight in your hips back. Lean your hips as far back as you can. So take all the weight out of your hands. Maybe getting a decent stretch in the backs of your legs. Good breath in. There's some core work happening. Okay, back to tabletop. All right, bend your left knee, right leg straight. Now, you can have your left hand on your block at any height that's needed. Make adjustments if needed. Right hand on your low back. Palm face down on your right side of your low back. Pull your elbow up. Pull your shoulders, your right shoulder up. So try to stack your right shoulder on top of left. Turn to the right. So left knee is bent, right leg is straight, turning your spine to the right. You can even look up toward the ceiling with your head or look straight forward. You can even bring your right arms wide up toward the ceiling. Reach up to the ceiling with your right hand. Take another breath. And one more. Both hands slowly to the ground. Both legs straight. Rest. Lean all your weight into your feet. Hips rock back. Relax your hands. Relax your shoulders. Maybe let your head drop. Okay, tabletop again. Even out your weight there. Make adjustments with your right hand on your block, whatever height is needed. Okay, so we're bending right knee, left leg straight, left hand, palm face down on the left side of your hip bone on the back side. Spine long, push down with that bottom arm and turn your spine to the left, your heart to the left. Try to stack your left shoulder on top of right. You can look straight to the left side of the room with your head, or you can look up toward the ceiling any amount. You can also lift your left arm wide up toward the ceiling if that feels good. Deep breaths either way. Keep turning the ribs as best you can without strain. And breathe. We'll do one more breath. And slowly, both hands back to the ground. Straighten the legs. Lean your hips back. Straight back. Let your hands and arms soften. Even drop your head. Just taking a break for your upper body. Good breath in. Great breath out. Okay, so look forward. Walk your hands forward to the front of your mat. Walk your feet forward. So just walk to the front of your mat. And we're going to do some lunges now for our hip flexors and low back. So bend your knees a lot. Step your right foot way back to a nice long lunge. And back knee drops to the floor. So front knee lands on top of your ankle. We want good form there. And back leg as far back as it can go and drop your hips forward. You can always keep your blocks under your hands. You can always put cushion under your back knee. Let your spine get longer out the top of your head. Good long breaths. Soften the right hip more. Okay, rock the hips back. Keep your front foot flat on the floor. So you might not straighten your front leg all the way, or don't straighten your leg all the way, but rock your hips back and stick your butt out behind you. So we get an interesting stretch in the hamstring there. The top attachment of the hamstring on the left side. And let's rock it forward to your lunge again. This time, we're going to keep the left knee in alignment with the left ankle and the left hip. So all facing forward in the same line. Start to inch your knee forward of your ankle if you can, as best you can. If your heel pops up off the floor, it's okay. But make the deepest bend in your front knee that's comfortable for you. If there's pain, then back off. You can even extend that back leg back even further, landing that knee to the ground. And then lengthen your spine upward, lift your heart, shoulders down, collarbones wide. Good, breath in. Good, breath out. And rock your hips back. Take your time to bring both knees to the ground, both elbows to the ground, do full body wag. Take your legs out. Okay. And let's come back to standing tabletop. So grab your blocks, straighten your legs, walk your whole body to the front of your mat. When you're ready, you'll bend your knees and left foot steps way back. Long lunge, back knee on the ground. Front knee on top of your ankle to start. You can always use cushion under your back knee, using a blanket or a pillow, or you can put blocks under your hands to make more space for your upper body. Let your left hip get heavy to the floor and let your spine lengthen gently out the top of the head. Breathe deep as you soften that left hip. And clench your jaw. Soften that left hip even more. So keep your front foot flat on the floor, rock your hips back. Don't quite straighten your front leg all the way, and then stick your butt out behind you, kind of flare your sits bones toward the wall behind you, giving that stretch in the top of the hamstring on that right side. And keep your spine low. And let's rock it forward to the lunge again. And if you're comfortable, you'll start to bend your front knee as much as you can, rocking forward and forward and forward, knee in front of the ankle. Keep your right hip, knee, and ankle all in the same line, facing forward. So we don't let our knee veer in or veer out. You can extend that back leg even further to take the longest lunge that you can through the groin. And then extend your spine. Float your spine longer out the top of the head. Maybe lift the breastbone and widen the collarbones. Make space in your upper body. That's it. Good breath. One more breath. And one more. And we'll slowly rock the hips back. Take your time to bring both knees to the ground, both elbows to the ground, full body wag. Head, shoulders, feet, and hips wag side to side. Maybe shake your legs out behind you one at a time. Okay, and we're sitting on our butt. Legs go wide. You can sit on the front edge of a blanket or even two. You would do that if when your legs are wide, if your hips want to rock back like this and it's hard to keep your spine up, then sitting on the front edge of a blanket is helpful because that tilts your pelvis forward and that takes the strain out of the low back. You can also sit up on two. You can always even put blocks right above your knees underneath for some added support there if this is a stressful place for you. Okay, go as wide as you can without strain, just sitting there. And hands ground to floor or blocks in front of you. Gently flex your feet so toes back towards your head and reach out through the heels, pressing your knees toward the ground. So let's think about working no more than like 50% effort with the legs. Okay, so not too hard. Let the spine stay long. Start to hinge forward from the crease of the hip slowly and gradually, keeping your arms supporting the weight of your body. You can always land your elbows to floor or blocks at any point. Keep your spine long. Try not to slouch here. Try not to curl your spine to get closer to the floor. That's counterproductive. Keep the spine extended. Keep the legs extending. No more than half effort though. Inhale, spine gets a little longer. Exhale, ground the legs a little better. Maybe flex the feet a tiny bit more. Maybe hinge forward a little deeper, folding more. You're in charge. So think of like this, your base, your root, your legs here, and hips, a suction cup against the ground. It's like we're wanting to get closer to the earth through our base. The spine is getting closer to the earth. That's the progression, but it's secondary. Really good for our root chakra, as well as inner thighs. Lengthening helps create balance in the knees and the hips and the low back. Inhale, spine gets longer. Exhale, gently grounding through the legs. Maybe folding a little deeper. Do one more breath. And when you're ready, you'll push your spine up slowly. Sitting all the way up and relaxing. Soften and melt here. Close your eyes. Just take satisfying breaths here. Softening everything. Feeling your connection with Mother Earth now, your groundedness, your rootedness, your calmness. Maybe that was a stressful pose for you. Observe where your mind is at with that. If it created panic for you or stress, and just being present with what is and doing our best to make peace with what is. It's all just information for our benefit. And slowly start to bend the knees. You can grab the knees with the hands. Bring one knee at a time. Bring the shoulder and feet together. Hugging the heels as close to the groin as is comfortable. Grabbing ankles or under the toes and gently bouncing the knees. Good clearing breaths. Let's just shake out for your hips. Okay, and then we'll relax that. Knees come inward, center, straighten the legs out, and rock them out this way. Okay, so some flat earth would probably feel really good because we really moved our spine around. So I recommend like a full corpse pose, laying flat on your back with arms long, legs long. If your body is asking for something different, then please honor yourself. You can put on any warmth that you might need, or if you want to cover your eyes with something, or if you want some support under your knees or under your head, please honor yourself what you need for your comfort. And so palms face up, arms long to the floor. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Let the toes fall outward. Your hands are about a foot away from the hips. Palms face up. The shoulders fall back toward the earth. And clench your butt. And clench your inner thighs. Soften your mouth and your neck. Feel your skin falling into gravity to your whole body, from head to toe. Falling into love. Returning to love. Letting in the love. The more you let go, the more love you let in. Love is always pressing in on us. Just letting the love in. What would it feel like to know you were loved in every moment? What would it feel like if you knew you were appreciated in every moment? What would it feel like to know you were valued in every moment of your life? What would it feel like if you accepted that as your truth?
Yes.